If you have numbers in 5 different places, such as your CRM, Google Sheets, and Ads Manager, and you cannot pinpoint exactly where your revenue is leaking, this video is for you. Now, the truth is, your business most likely doesn't have a data problem, but what it has is an insight problem. So in today's video, I'm going to show you what the difference is between data and insights and why this distinction matters to your bottom line. So let's get straight into it. Now, we have 3 different levels of data understanding. Let's actually clarify them and see what the definitions are. The first level is data, raw numbers, right? Data tells you what has happened. So for example, we spent $1,000 on ads, we generate 100 leads, we book 50 calls, and we closed 10 deals. Now, this is valuable information, but it's just a starting point of where we're trying to go. Now, level 2 is what I like to call discovery, findings, essentially a pattern recognition. Let's say you are looking at a line chart and you've noticed that our show rate has been decreasing in the last 2 weeks. This would be a discovery. Another example is month over month positive growth by 20%. So every single month you add in 20, 30, 40K in revenue. Last would be cost per lead increased by 50% in the past 2 months. Now you start to see trends, but you still don't know what actions to take. And the last level is actionable insights. This is where the magic happens. So insights tell you exactly what is happening and what to do about it. I have a very simple example here. We have a campaign A, a campaign B. Campaign B is underperforming because 80% of our leads are unqualified. This would be classified as an insight. If we took action on that, we would pause campaign B and double down on campaign A. This is the actionable insight. Another simple example, you notice that in the past 2-3 weeks, there's been a lot of refunds. When you dig deeper, what you find is that lead source A produces the highest refund rate, maybe due to unrealistic expectations. So what might happen is your VSL overpromises but underdelivers on what you're trying to sell. Therefore, you should tweak the marketing message to meet the expectations. A same scenario with a different example would be one of the closers has actually a very high refund rate. So you would look at their call recordings and see if they're being pushy, salesy, if they're trying to get the sale every single time. You know, some people are not comfortable saying no, so they would buy and refund later on. Now, only insights create leverage in your business. Everything else is just an information. Now, why this matters to your revenue and what actually happens when you rely on data and numbers alone. I mean, you make wrong decisions, right? You overlook problems until it's too late. So for example, sales dip 20% this month, but you only notice it in the end of the month report. By then, it's already cost you thousands. If you had real-time insights, you could have caught the issue on day 7, day 5, day 3. You keep tweaking things that aren't actually broken, right? So your cost per call seems too high. So you change the VSL, you rewrite the copy, you stress your marketing team. But in reality, the campaign actually produced the best ROI. Another example could be you get stuck in the analysis paralysis, right? I'm a big believer that you should track everything, but you should only focus on the highest ROI metrics or highest ROI insights, right? So your team tracks 87 KPIs and no one knows which one matters. So nothing gets prioritized. You stay stuck in a bunch of reports reviewing, what is going on, but you don't make any moves. You maybe hit the ceiling and you don't know why. You think you're doing okay. Well, that might be true, but the growth, stagnates. Everything looks fine in the reports, but since you haven't connected marketing metrics to sales outcomes, you cannot really identify the bottleneck, or you miss key patterns. This might be a very simple one, but calls are being booked, but the show up rate is dropping. Without this insight, you might not notice that your automation within the CRM or within Make or Zapier sending reminders, errors, or is turned off completely. Now, there's been a lot of studies on this, that companies with a strong data foundation and understanding are 4 times more likely to act on their data and report better decision making. Now, I've prepared a breakdown example to make sure you understand it fully. So we have campaign A and campaign B. Let's look at the cost per call. So campaign A, $150 per call. Campaign B, $350 per call. Now, at first glance, it might seem like, campaign A is overperforming campaign B, but when you actually dig deeper, what you find is that campaign A has only 60% show rate and 4 out of 10 average lead quality. But on the other hand, campaign B has 82% show rate and 8 out of 10 average lead quality. When we look at the revenue, campaign A has produced 10,000 and campaign B has produced 55,000. Now, the insight is that even though campaign B was cheaper to book call for, it attracted the wrong people. Campaign A is actually the growth driver. Now, the actionable takeaway is cut spend on campaign B, scale campaign A, adjust targeting. Now, that's what insights look like. The spreadsheet or the ads manager alone would have tricked you into thinking that, campaign B might be more efficient. So it always goes like this. You have raw data, which goes into discovery, which would be the pattern recognition. Then you turn it into insights. Those insights are taken into actions, and the action is driving the revenue. Now, the checklist, what I would say every single time is, do I know what I need to fix? Do I know where to scale? And am I making a confident decision? If you've answered all those 3 questions with yes, you're on the right track. Now, the reason why most companies stay stuck is they're relying on weekly or monthly reports instead of real-time signals. There's a miscommunication between teams. So marketing doesn't reflect sales and vice versa. Then you tracking too much, like I said, and understanding too little. So only focusing on things that actually move the needle. And then you're making decisions based on what feels right instead of data-backed insights. Now, in this case, I don't mean you have it in your head, but you're just looking at the number rather than the insight itself. Now, insights are clarity with specific direction. So Not our leads dropped by 27%, but leads dropped 20% after we turned off retargeting ads. Not revenue dropped, but revenue dropped because our close rate decreased in the past 2 weeks due to ramping up new closers. Now, so they're learning the offer, they're learning the new product, so the performance is going to be low, obviously. Insights give you answers, not more questions. Remember, if your dashboard, if your place doesn't tell you exactly what to do next, it's just a prettier spreadsheet. Insights are what move the needle. Everything else is noise. Your business doesn't need another spreadsheet. It needs clarity. And clarity comes from insights. The real question is whether you have enough data. It's whether you can turn data into decisions that drive the actual revenue. That's the difference between business that grows predictably and those that remain stuck in uncertainty. Now, this is everything from me. If you are an agency or info product and want to scale using data, make sure to book a call down below or check our case studies. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.